Hey fellow soups and hey fellow boys and girls and everybody. Welcome to my first episode of reviewing season 4 of The Boys. I am so excited that season 4 is finally here. Prime Video dropped the first 3 episodes of season 4 yesterday and I watched all 3. They dropped 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so since I'm here in California, I watched all of those 3, but I'm sorry for the folks on the East Coast. That was quite late. So now I'm going to tell you how this video is going to go down. So first of all, if you guys have not watched those first 3 episodes of The Boys season 4, spoilers everywhere in this video. Do not watch this video. We are going to be spilling everything that happened, everything that went down. So this is your last and final warning. I'm talking all the spoilers from those first 3 episodes. So this is your warning to leave if you haven't seen those episodes and you don't want to be spoiled. Okay, so because they dropped 3 episodes, I literally made a list of things that I remembered. It's all kind of just mumbled in my head. I should have been more organized about this. I'm just going to talk about what stood out to me, what I found to be the craziest stuff. I may miss some things along the way, so I may have to bring that up in a later episode, if it comes up again. So I apologize. Also, guys, I'm still new here to YouTube. I'm figuring things out, and I want to figure out how to, bring up images and clips and all that, but I haven't figured that out yet. So this video is going to work a little bit more podcast style. It's just going to be me talking. So feel free to just listen to me in the background if you want while you're doing other things. Totally don't mind. But yeah, that's how it's going to go. So I apologize if this isn't the most glamorous video you've ever seen. But that's how it's going to go. Also, I have my own little octopus friend visiting with us today, because if you know, you know. So she's going to hang around right there in the back. But guys, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank my subscribers who are subscribed to the channel for coming and checking out my first video of The Boys Season 4. Guys, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay. So I just want to give you my thoughts on the first 3 episodes so far before we get into the stuff. I have to say, without a doubt, even just with these first 3 episodes, this has to be my favorite season of The Boys yet. It is just so chaotic. Homelander is more evil than ever. And there's so much going on that I felt like I really could not predict or see coming, that my jaw was on the ground. But at the same time, so much emotional stuff and traumatic stuff going on behind the scenes that a lot of these characters are dealing with that I just found super exciting. And I feel like this show feels bigger than ever. I feel like the world building has become just huge, where Vought feels like a real place. Today, Homelander did an AMA on Reddit. I mean, it feels like we're literally living in that world of The Boys with the soups and everyone, and it's just so incredible. So I just want to get out those thoughts right there. It's so great. Once again, spoiler, this is your last spoiler warning. We're getting into the spoilers right now, so let's get into it. Okay, all right. Now, my list is all over the place. It isn't probably even in order by the episodes. It's just the first thing on my list is Homelander's trial, which we did see in that first episode. Now, Homelander's trial, now, obviously, Homelander, obviously on trial for killing that Starlight protester. By the way, I don't know if I could say the word, so I'm gonna have to just say takeout. YouTube's like weird like that. So yeah, Homelander's on trial for taking out that Starlight protester who threw a bottle at Ryan last season, right? Homelander's son. So I really thought, because they were, promoting the upcoming season to really be about Homelander's trial, I really thought that was going to take up a good chunk of the season. They were like, nope, it just got done in that first episode, right? So, yes, and Homelander, obviously, he got off, not guilty. Vought posted about it. Yeah, he's not. And Homelander, by the way, I just want to get into this really quick. This is like a cool thing. Whoa, where is it? Homelander is on the cover of Time magazine, and Eric Kripke, the showrunner, said that this is going to be a real issue that you can actually buy at the newsstands. I am getting one. I think this is amazing. I think them putting on, Homelander, even though he's a fictional character, it just makes it feel more real, right? I think that's amazing. It's such great marketing for the show. I think that's awesome. It says Superhero of the Year. Wow. Okay. Back to the stuff. So yes, so Homelander was found not guilty. And, are we surprised? No. It's Homelander, right? Something, oh gosh, I'm gonna be like all over the place with this review. Okay, I need to get into Sister Sage first. Sister Sage. So Sister Sage, who is played by Susan Hayward, she is a new Soup who Homelander goes to recruit. They're looking for new members of the Seven. And she is known to be the smartest Soup. And so, and I know you guys have probably already seen the episode, but I'm just, I'm not going to go into like every detail of what happened. I'm just going to kind of spit out, what stands out to me. But yes, so Homelander goes to visit her in casual clothes, by the way. I was so excited to see him. We've never seen Homelander in like casual clothes. He looks so good, by the way. I was excited about it. He goes to visit her. Her apartment is covered in books, which I just absolutely love that. And, she's very smart. And what I liked about her is, she really, like, she told him what he needed to hear. She was telling him all these things about, like, Stormfront and all this stuff. And then, she tells him how to take over, right? How to take over the world, basically. And he's like Caesar, like that. So she's going to be, like, his new kind of earpiece, if you will, telling him how to do stuff. And the dynamic between her and Homelander is just so great. I think it's just like, so far it's like my favorite dynamic of Homelander and another character, and I already just from these 3 episodes alone, because it's just so interesting to see how he's really so taken by her because she's so intelligent, because she's so smart, and because she knows how to tell him, like, hey, you should do this and not this, and I was just really amazed by that all. I think Susan Hayward plays her so amazing. I cannot wait to see more from her and Homelander this season. But anyway, so, okay, let's jump into the crazy. There's a meeting between Todd, who's like Homelander's like biggest fan, and he's also married to MM's wife, but I think they were going through some separation or something, right? So it's Todd and these other Homelander supporters that get this like meet and greet with Homelander. And by the way, there's some stuff that I want to talk about that I can't mention on YouTube. But if you saw earlier in the episode where Homelander tells the Deep to do something to A-Train, and then he tells him, oh, just get, yeah. Oh my gosh, right? That was so crazy. I actually thought he was going to do it. I was like, oh my God. But then, Homelander tells them to basically take out Todd and the other Homelander supporters with these bats. And the Deep's all like, oh, is this just like another one of your tests, like from earlier? And he's like, nope. And they actually do it. And I could never have seen that coming. I mean, oh my God, Todd. But Todd was just, oh, he's so annoying. So it was funny to see. But it's just at Homelander's orders. That was crazy. That just shows like Homelander. He doesn't even care about his own supporters. He's just like, I think there's something interesting there. But anyway, They use that to frame 2 Starlighter protesters to make them look like they did it outside the courthouse, during all this ruckus of the trial and everything. Absolutely insane. Sister Sage, she starts it by throwing something at the Homelander protesters and, acting as a Starlight protester. I thought that was crazy. I could have never seen that coming, that they were going to take out Todd and all those other people and frame the Starlighters. Dude, Homelander is truly so evil. Like, if you didn't see that before, now you know. That I think, and what I think is going to be really interesting, I don't think that Homelander cared. I mean, I don't think he ever cared about his supporters. It was just, something that he needs for numbers, like just any other politician. But he does not care about them. He doesn't care. He wants power, but he doesn't care. And I think, and I'm just going to jump down to another point I made somewhere there. He tells Ryan to not feel bad for hurting human beings because they're toys to Soups. That had me scared. That had me freaked out. I thought that was such a crazy line for him to say that. He's like, they're just toys. Homelander does not care for the human race. He does not care. And I don't think he cares for his own supporters. So I think it's going to be interesting to see as the season goes. What do the home free or the Homelander supporters think of that? Because it's like, yeah, Homelander's trying to get them convinced that Starlight doesn't want Soups around. She wants to take out the Soups. But it's like, well, Homelander doesn't care about you guys. So where's that going to go? So I think that's interesting. Okay. So yeah, I thought that was crazy. What do I want to get? Oh, gosh, there's so much stuff. So yeah, Starlight, my girl Starlight, poor Starlight. So Starlight had this Annie. Because she's trying to go. It's interesting that she has this thing of like, I don't want to be Starlight anymore, but the people need a hero. Huey was trying to, and all these other people are trying to convince her to just, at least call yourself a hero because people need some hope, someone to look forward to, someone to look up to. And they have like the Starlight House going on to help. I think it was like to help like teenagers or something, which I thought was really cool. I loved, by the way, this setting where it literally had this huge like poster of Starlight. I just love when The Boys does that. Like, it's just something like totally like you would see today with celebrities, right? But the setting was really cool. And I really love seeing Annie with the boys now, working alongside Huey and everyone. Really interesting though, and this is interesting. Just as I was saying that Homelander doesn't care about the humans, he thinks they're just toys to them. He doesn't care. Butcher is not too happy about Starlight being with the boys. So interesting. I mean, it's just literally the complete opposite of Homelander, but they're literally like the same. He's like, oh, she's one of them. Oh my gosh, this is so interesting. This is why Butcher and Homelander are just such an interesting pair. They're similar, but, obviously they hate each other's kinds. And I think that's just going to be so interesting to see play out. I'm interested to see where that goes with like her and Butcher, her working alongside them. I think she's a huge asset to them just having a soup alone. But, yeah, we'll see where that goes, right? Okay, and then something also that happened at the beginning of the episode was this, there's this, like the election party going on for Newman and Singer, and Homelander and Ryan go there, and then Butcher shows up, and they have this, like, reunion in the kitchen, and Homelander, he can see in Butcher's, brain that he's dying, and, Butcher's trying to convince Ryan, come with me, and, obviously, Homelander steps in, and he's like, yeah, that's not happening. I think it's just crazy. And throughout those, 3 episodes, just jumping around here a bit, Homelander is not a good dad. I mean, who would have thought, right? He treats Ryan horribly. I was joking around with myself that Homelander reminds me a lot of Kris Jenner, the way he was like, Ryan, like, we need to get you doing your own movie with VOD and the numbers would be so good and I should be in that movie too, blah, blah. I'm like, this is such a Kris Jenner move. Like, is Kris Jenner giving Homelander tips on being like a dadager? Like, it's hilarious. But he's not a good dad to Ryan, he's just not. He got so pissed at him in the end, and I think the 3rd episode, right, where I know I'm jumping around. I'm just gonna be jumping around this whole episode, guys. I promise the videos with one episode will be a lot more concise. But Ryan goes to visit Butcher, and I think in the 3rd episode, and it's super cute. Butcher makes these like cookies, the ones that Ryan's mom would make him. He goes to Target and buys all these ingredients to make cookies, and he buys board games. It was so cute, something a nice father would do. And, and in contrast to that, I think before that, or was it after? I don't know, but like Homelander brings like Ryan these milkshakes and Ryan doesn't want it. So then, and he starts to say something about Butcher, and then Homelander takes the milkshake away. I was like, so rude. But, yeah, Ryan brings up how, he's worried about Butcher and he doesn't want him to, die. And then Homelander just gets so pissed at him and he's just so awful with Ryan. And I'm just like, yeah, this is not a safe environment for Ryan. This is just awful. And I really hope he gets to go with Butcher. But then it's like Butcher's like dying. Like, oh my gosh, I hope they find a cure for Butcher. I don't want him to go. I know, by the way, I didn't get it, but yes, it was announced, confirmed that season 5 will be the final season of The Boys. We'll talk about that more on In the Universe on my weekly show. I want to just stick to the episode reviews here, but I'm just like, no, don't let Butcher die. Like, I don't want it. I want him to be Ryan's dad, but yeah, Homelander. Oh, we're gonna get into more of Homelander. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm jumping around. Okay, so before I get into Firecracker, I kind of want to just get into the fact of what I was talking about, the characters dealing with the trauma stuff. I think pretty much nearly every character it was shown in these 3 episodes, and as we've seen before in the previous seasons, is dealing with some serious dark stuff. Kimiko's still dealing with stuff from her past of, how she was trafficked and all that stuff she went through, and you know, her brother and everything. And so I think, you know, that's crazy. Some crazy stuff with Frenchie. Oh my gosh. So Frenchie he has a boyfriend. And I loved how Kimiko was so supportive to him. That was really good. She's like, just go for it, you know, I know you want to. But the crazy thing is like, Frenchie has this dark past where he, you know, took out all these people, and he took out that, you know, his boyfriend's family. And it's like, how is he going to tell him that? How is he like, oh, that's so crazy, and that guy loves him so much, and it's just like, oh my god, how is he going to tell him? So that's haunting Frenchie. Okay, we're gonna get into the Starlight firecracker. I'm gonna save the Starlight thing for when we talk about firecrackers. Hold that thought. Homelander, like as we were saying, you know, so he freaks out on Ryan because Ryan brings up the whole like, oh, I don't want Butcher to die, and you know, Homelander gets so pissed at Ryan, and then he's like pissed at himself for getting pissed at Ryan, and he has this great scene. You know, Anthony Starr is just amazing. All of them are amazing, but you know, Anthony Starr in that role, oh my gosh, he is just wow. And he has, you know, this other scene in front of the mirror where he's like, you know, Homelander's talking to himself, and I think we're really going to see a lot of Homelander looking in on his past and in on himself as, you know, why he was so unloved and why he is the way he is. And I think there's this part of Homelander that really wants to, you know, be loved and be a loving father and give Ryan what he didn't have. But also there's a part of him that's like, I don't care about feelings and this and love. I want to rule the world and rule the Supes and the humans. And so I think that's going to be a really interesting, you know, storyline to see play out with Homelander this season and where that takes him. I just think he's going to lose his mind. I just think he's going to lose it. I don't know. Is he too far gone? I think so. I think if he's saying that, like, humans are just toys to the Supes, how can you come back from that? I mean, he's already taken out so many people. He doesn't care. Him and Sister Sage were talking to, I don't know if she worked with Starlight or she worked at the Starlight house, but they were questioning her, and she was like, you promise you won't do anything to me? And Homelander he lasered her out. And he's like, yeah, I'm doing it. He's like, I'm just petty like that. Like, he does not care. So I don't know. I think he's too far gone. I don't think there's any, like, redemption for Homelander, in my opinion. I think he's just way too far gone. So, yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Huey. Oh my gosh. Huey breaking my heart. So, poor Huey's dad, you know, he ends up, did he have a stroke, I think? Oh man, I should have looked that up. I think he had a stroke. And so he's in the hospital. Poor Huey. And then Huey's mom, she was never in the picture. She left him when he was young. And so his mom comes, to the hospital because the dad had put her as the power of attorney, I guess in his you know, on his will thing or whatever. But so Huey sees her, and it's so heartbreaking, man. Like, there's so much broke my heart, and he's just like, why did you leave me? And like, you never. And she was like, you know, I was so young, but it was just heartbreaking. I mean, Jack Quaid broke my heart in that scene. Like, everyone just acting is like so good. It broke my heart. And I think there's just so much there to be dealt with. There's so much to talk about. There's so much that all these people are dealing with. And it just broke my heart. Like, that storyline, Huey. I mean, first, like, his dad now in the hospital, and then the mom. And he has all this just trauma from the mom leaving him. It's just so sad. I'm like, oh my gosh. You know, poor Ryan, too. Like, you know, he's home. Butcher's dying. The good father figure, and like Homelander's such a bad dad. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is awful. So that now the one thing I kind of predicted, it was kind of obvious it was going to happen, but I kind of predicted this, was A-Train going to the boys' side. Now, he's not fully there, right? He has like 1 foot out the door, but he did, you know, he gave Starlight, you know, all that stuff. So the evidence and everything. And so I think he is like, you know, I think he's ready to leave. I think he's just done with it now that, like, Homelander is making him and, like, the Deep, and oh gosh, we didn't even talk about Black Noir yet. But, you know, making them do all this, like, evil stuff. I mean, how much more can he take? You know, I think, and then, you know, he has the guilt of his brother and what happened to his brother. I think he's gonna be the next Soup to just be like, okay, but I think they're just scared of Homelander. Like, and I don't blame him. I don't blame A-Train for being like, how the heck am I going to leave this situation? It's a toxic situation, you know. I don't know, but I'm loving A-Train's storyline so far this season. I love him. I think he really wants to do better, especially for his family. And I hope he gets that. I hope he gets that, and I hope Homelander doesn't get to him. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, all right, we got there. Oh gosh. Should I just talk about this? Sorry. Guys, VOD on Ice was crazy. VOD on Ice was crazy. First of all, I love it. And I realized now, if you guys seen the Marvel shows, if you've seen Hawkeye, you know that they came up with Rogers the Musical, which I thought was so goofy. I did not like that at all. I thought it was silly. They actually brought that to Disneyland as a show. I saw it. It was good. But I just think the whole Rogers the Musical thing is so silly. But anyway, I think VOD on Ice was a direct parody of not just that, but of course Disney on Ice, which I love. And I would rather see VOD on Ice than Rogers the Musical. I'm sorry, but that's where I stand. And it was crazy. So obviously, now this scene reminded me straight out of something from Jurassic Park. So, you know, they're there at that Vought Coin Arena, which I think is so funny. They call it the Vought Coin Arena. Obviously a parody of the Crypto Arena that formerly used to be the Staples Center here in LA. So funny. They are so creative over there. And, you know, it's Homelander and Newman, and they're talking, and Huey's, you know, sneaking around in the, what is it? You're just up there in the ceiling and like the tunnels, and his sweat, he's so nervous and it's hot, and his sweat drips on Homelander, and Homelander can smell it like a dog. He smells Huey, and he lasering through all of that. It just reminded me of Jurassic Park when he like pops his head up, and I was like, Homelander's like a full-on raptor. Like, he is just so crazy. That was funny. But yeah, Homelander, you know, trying to laser everywhere for Huey, ends up lasering the Queen Maeve ice skater actor. Oh my gosh, that was awful. Just so on point for the boys, right? And then, you know, something that has always, by the way, freaked me out about figure skating was their, like, the blades. Like, I love watching figure skating, but the blades, and the boys brought that fear of mine to life by having them all just, like, cutting up each other, running around in fear. That was a nightmare to watch. It was a nightmare. I'm considering The Boys as a horror show at this point because of the level of violence. That was crazy. That was crazy, but so good. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about Firecracker. Oh my gosh. Firecracker is... she is something, isn't she? You know, Firecracker is played by Valerie Curry, new soup to the 7 and on the show. She plays her so... my gosh, she is... Woo! You know, every time we're like, there's no way that anyone could be crazier than Homelander. There's always someone. It's Stormfront, right? Now Homelander. There's a new girl. There's a new bad girl who wants Homelander. Firecracker. She is all about that. And, you know, we meet her at this... at TruthCon, which was so interesting. I don't know if I can even get into all that on here, but I'll say it was very interesting. And, you know, it's very obvious to see where they're going with, Firecracker's character here, you know, directly, you know, the boys, it's no surprise that the boys directly parodies a lot of real life stuff. And I think you can see where they're going with that. That's all I'm going to say on here, but it's just very interesting and funny. And, that convention was something, man. It was crazy. Oh, I don't want to go there. Also, something so funny. So they get into this like tussle with Firecracker. The boys, it's Butcher, Frenchie, Kimiko, and something that was so funny is so they're in this hotel that's like a parody of like a La Quinta, and it's called like Vought something. It's so funny. And there's like a birthday or a bar mitzvah going on like in one of the rooms, and it's the Marvelous Miss Maisel, which is another Prime Video show. And that was the theme of the bar mitzvah, I think. And I thought that was so funny because it's another Prime Video show, and I've never seen The Boys unless I missed it doing cross promotion like that with their other shows. So I thought that was really funny. But yeah, they go in there, they have this crazy fight with Firecracker, and I just thought that was like funny how there was like another, Prime Video show spotlighted in The Boys. They actually had, I don't know if you guys caught this, but where they're training for Ryan's movie doing the stunts, there's like the Prime boxes, like Amazon Prime shipping boxes, which I thought was so funny. So I thought that was really funny of like Amazon to do. But yes, Firecracker. So Sister Sage also goes to TruthCon to recruit Firecracker to join. She's trying to find out, what she's all about. Firecracker has, she's doing her political soup commentary about Homelander. She's very pro Homelander. So, that happens. And as far as her powers go, she just kind of like flipped her fingers. This little like spark happened, but she didn't really, from what I saw, have much of a soup strength. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with her character. Maybe she's going to act as just kind of like another vocal supporter of Homelander for the Seven, do like interview stuff. That's what I'm thinking. But I thought that was interesting. So yeah, but anyway, I want to jump to her interaction with Annie. So Annie ends up in the Seven Tower. We see they actually give Firecracker Annie's formal room there, and it's all decorated with Firecracker stuff. It's very funny. And this was so interesting. So she tells Annie, like, so remember that Annie used to do these like pageants when she was younger, like singing and whatever. So I guess that Firecracker's like, yeah, like you made fun of me, remember? And like you bullied me and you called me these names. And so we're finding out that Annie back in the day used to be kind of a mean girl. And now, can you imagine of like Homelander not liking Starlight? But now we have Firecracker who also doesn't like her. And now she's going to make it her soul. In the trailer we saw, she's like, I'm coming for Starlight, She is I think that's where Homelander's really going to be taken by Firecracker. Because he didn't seem too interested. In fact, when she came to the Seven Tower, he's like, why did we recruit her? Which was kind of funny. But I think if he kind of finds out this, like, that she has this past with Starlight too, that's going to be something that I think Homelander's going to be like, oh, okay. Where they're going to, like, kind of bond over. But I thought that was really interesting to find out about Annie's past and how Firecracker was a part of that. Oh, this is going to be so interesting to watch. So that was crazy. Oh my god, I just realized we didn't talk about Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So he's in there. I don't know. Did we get a name for his character? Honestly, I can't remember, and I don't want to look it up. I realized I've been talking so much. But, so he works, I guess, at the CIA, at the agency over there. And he's kind of telling Butcher they have, like, a past together. But in one of the episodes, he's telling Butcher, he's like, listen, like, you need to get Ryan out of that situation or else, you need to take him out, which obviously Butcher's not going to do. But that's what I'm telling you. Like, I think this Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character is kind of playing two sides here. I don't know that he's fully, there's something going on there that I don't trust about him. But we didn't see too much of him. It was just, a little bit here and there. Someone had an interesting theory on TikTok. Now, if this is true, it's again not a spoiler, but their theory was that they think that Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character is actually dead and that he's just from Butcher's past because we only see him talking to Butcher and he only encounters Butcher when they're alone. I thought that was really interesting, a little like Bruce Willis Sixth Sense thing going on. I was like, oh, if that ends up being true, that is gonna throw me, but I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts about that. Oh my gosh, I feel like, okay, I want to get into like two more things and then I think I'll end it I feel like I covered the main points here. So we didn't talk about the Deep. Oh my gosh. The Deep. He is really, Sister Sage has some really great scenes with the Deep, as you saw in the ending. They kind of got it on, which I didn't see that coming, but I was kind of here for it. I'm not gonna lie. But she's also telling him like, you need to like, you're not commanding, like, no one takes you seriously. You don't tell people like, when Ashley tells the Deep off and she's like, you're gonna let her talk to you like that. So I think it was like funny that he's trying to, but Ashley still is just like, dude, I don't care. Which I love Ashley, by the way. Her scenes, I'm here for Ashley this season. By the way, her suits look incredible. I love her. Anyway, so, and then the Deep, by the way, I could not believe this. He has a new octopus girlfriend hiding in his closet. By the way, he needs to clean her tank. Even she was like, are you going to clean my tank? What the heck? And I was trying to guess who was voicing her. Guys, it's Tilda Swinton, which I could not believe. I would have never guessed. I think that's so funny. And obviously, is he ever going to change? No. The DP is so nasty. But maybe now Sister Sage and him are going to have something. Okay. I'm gonna end with the Sister Sage stuff. So that final shot, right, of the episode was where is it? So we see Sister Sage. She's just chilling in her room, and she's eating, and then the Deep comes in to see her, and they start getting it on, and then we see this, and I with myself was like, what is that? What is that? And people on Twitter have come up with the fact that they think she gave herself a lobotomy because she's so smart that she kind of wants to, like, maybe not be so smart anymore. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the next episode. But I was like, oh my God, I think they're right. Because I had no clue what that was. I didn't know what she did. Because it was kind of how, like, when the Deep came to see her, she was like, oh, do you want to watch Transformers? And she's eating that thing from Outback Steakhouse, the Bloom. And she's just kind of chilling. She's not her usual, like, bookish self. I think that's so interesting, and I want to know. Is she smart anymore? Is this, like, a thing she does sometimes? Like, maybe she can't fully get rid of her, like, smart power? Oh, this is so interesting, but I am just... Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that threw me for a loop. Okay. I think... Yeah. I know I didn't cover everything. In fact, I probably missed a lot of stuff, but I think I talked a lot. I talked a lot about some of the major stuff that went down in these first 3 episodes. I promise that the next episodes we do, because there'll be 1 episode per week, there will be a lot betterly structured and detailed. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry this was all over the place, and I'm sorry I didn't have any, like, pictures or clips coming up here. I'm trying my best to, like, figure things out, but if you guys sat through all this, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I know this was, like, crazy, but I appreciate you guys being here. I hope that you guys enjoyed the first 3 episodes of The Boys Season 4, and I just cannot wait to see this season. I think so much crazy stuff is going to happen. It already has, and I can't wait to see what more they do. It is just going to be a wild ride. This is obviously, like, my favorite show ever, if you couldn't tell. And I can't wait to talk about it more with you guys. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me for my first review of The Boys Season 4. Thank you so much again to my subscribers who are part of my channel and who have come back to check out another video with me. And I would love to have you guys join the universe if you want. And, talk about some more The Boys with you very soon. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, everyone. Take care.